You are listening to episode 1 of the Workshop Podcast. Are you looking to build your DIY creative business? Welcome to the Workshop Podcast, a place to inspire, gather, and connect with other creatives. To help grow your impact and your creative business, I'm your host and business coach, Jacqueline De Ath. I'm super excited to be hosting the new Workshop Podcast. I'm here to chat about the realities of growing a DIY creative business by doing what you love and achieving financial success. So if you're anything like me, you love to paint, decorate, and get together with friends. So it was my love for decorating that has me here today, but that wasn't always the case. I love to create, but I didn't know anything about the world of entrepreneurship. So I started my career as a recreation therapist. And my first job was working in a care facility with seniors, planning and coordinating their recreation programs. Now, I did this for 11 years. In the meantime, I got married, I had kids, and my sanity, no kidding, was based on the fact that I crafted at night. And my husband worked evenings and I worked days. So after the kids went to bed, I would pull out the crafts and start making stuff. And it was usually stuff for our home. And as a new family, I wanted our home to look nice. And I would start watching shows like, Martha Stewart and Debbie Travis. And they were so inspiring on their how-to projects just to make a house a home. So I remember visits to Home Depot and packing the kids and walking the aisles shopping for wood. I became obsessed with I turned to power tools, and somehow it was like a coping mechanism for parenting. So don't get me wrong, I loved being a mom, but crafting was my escape from the everyday. I don't know if some of you listeners can resonate with that, but my kids were young and I remember making decor for their nursery, and I started making wall hooks and growth charts and wood signs, and then my friends started asking for me to make decor for them, and that was the start of my entrepreneurial journey with turning my hobby into a business. Now, I started my business by packing up my car with all my supplies, and I would actually go to my girlfriends' homes and do home parties. I know, crazy when I look back at how I got started. And that's when I quit my job. It was part-time in 2007 and became a small business owner. My girls were 2 and 4 years old. I had no idea what I was doing, and I just knew that I wanted to make money selling what I love to create, and it was a great opportunity for me to just be able to stay home with the kids and doing both things was becoming a bit too much for us. So that clearly wasn't sustainable. I started wholesaling to baby boutiques. I became a boss. I hired staff. I moved my business from my home to a warehouse, except I was learning as I was going and pulling a ton of hours and not really enjoying the workload, responsibility, or the income or lack of that I was generating. My family was really feeling the pressure and I was burnt out. So when my landlord at the time came to me and said that he was selling his warehouse where I was, I took this as a blessing and brought my biz back home and went back to working as a recreation therapist. It felt like a sense of relief. I was collecting a paycheck. That was the bonus. I did keep the business going, but I only kept it online with sales through Etsy, and I had my own online store. So until I went back to work, I didn't realize, I was like, what am I really doing? So back in the hospital, I felt like I was going back in time and repeating, had those same feelings right before I had left. So what it did do for me was that all the theories from my training started to come back, and I was looking at things differently. So the workshops that I was leading in as a recreation therapist, I was starting to look more at the therapeutic value and the understanding of human wellness while we recreate, right? That's what recreation is all about. So what exactly was that? What is it that we do in our pastimes that brings us joy, happiness, pleasure, just for the sake of doing it, not for any other reason than that? Except from my experience, so mine was all about crafting and DIYing. That was my recreation that brought me joy and happiness. So it was the outcomes that I was getting from that. So a nice home, I was started to surround myself with the things that I loved, the colors that I resonated with, and those feel-good feelings that I made it, right? It was my hands that made it. And I guess I was getting some kind of recognition for it too. So obviously that always feels good. I had my light bulb moment that I could actually bring more value to people if I started leading events and workshops to teach women to DIY their own home decor. So now other people were starting to do the same thing, and this was not a new idea, but I knew that I would bring a different perspective to it than just offering it as a project. This really was about creating an experience. I wanted people to walk away feeling a sense of accomplishment, an opportunity to learn something new, a way to enjoy and experience something with friends and family in a way that women left feeling good and proud. So I wanted to make it really easy too, so that this was not something that was stressful or overwhelming. Making something beautiful and remembering their experience as a moment of fun, a getaway, a place to reconnect outside of the day-to-day grind, and something to walk away with to hang in their home as a reminder. And these were all the things that brought me to crafting in the first place too. About a month ago, I found a paper that I wrote dated 1996, and the paper was titled "The Therapeutic Value of Arts and Crafts and the Understanding of Creativity." When I saw this, I didn't even remember writing it. So, I mean, what a wake-up call for me that I am in the right place. So here I am today. I'm launching the Workshop podcast. I am here to connect with other creatives just like you that love to DIY and achieve financial success at the same time. I've learned business strategies. I've had some amazing business coaches myself to help me with my entrepreneurial journey. And I certainly didn't get here alone. So if you're listening today, I know that you're about taking action. So I can't wait to chat about strategies, design, DIY, and marketing that has impacted my creative business. And we're going to hear from others that are in this industry as well, and some not, but that can bring a lot of value to the table to us in our businesses. So on this podcast, I'm going to connect with other creatives, and I'm going to share through my experience as well as a DIY workshop entrepreneur and retail store owner, and share what's working and not working, because that is the reality. When you're an entrepreneur, it's so nice to know that there are others going through some of the same feelings and emotions through this journey too. So I can't wait to showcase amazing talent and strategies every Monday. So stay in touch and please follow the Workshop podcast to learn the business of DIY. This is going to be so much fun. So if you haven't yet subscribed to this podcast, I don't want you to miss an episode. Be sure to follow me on Facebook at Jacqueline DIY. And for more free content, video, and solid advice to build your creative workshop business and be inspired, please visit JacquelineDIY.com.